Great to see you again this week. I have an incredible session. Firstly, we head off to a past life of a sea dragon. I didn't even know really what a sea dragon was, but incredible information there. Before we visit a life where great forgiveness is given and received, a life of a native Indian, a very young boy initially. And then we have a conversation with Isis and with Thoth. Which was incredible. My client had some very interesting questions that she wanted to ask about the emerald tablets, and we were able to get some information there. So I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. Let's go time traveling. Hey there, light workers. I hope you're having an incredible Halloween. Doing some pumpkin carving and perhaps, dispelling some of that evil from the planet. I'll certainly be having a go of that later. Great session for you today. We go back to a few past lives before having a chat with Thoth and Isis. My client had some very interesting questions to ask Thoth if indeed it came through with regard to the emerald tablet. So that's really, really interesting. So I'll begin with that now. So is it daytime or nighttime? I think it's day, and I think I'm in the water. Is the water still or choppy? It's still. Tell me about it. My head is sticking out of the water, and I'm just looking at it, how it ripples on the surface. I can't see anything on the horizon. It's just sea. I want you to look down to where... And she started laughing at this point. I have a tail. Describe it to me. It looks like a mermaid tail. Does it have any colour to it? Yes, it's green, and the very end of it is pink. Very good. And she started saying, I'm flapping, and she's laughing. I'd like you to move your hand in front of your face. Do you have a hand? What do you sense or see there? I sense no hand. Very good. I want to see them, but I can't, she said. As you look down at your body, what does your top half look like, the top half of your body? I'm struggling to see my body, she said. My head doesn't move around very well. Imagine a magic mirror in front of you. What do you look like? She started laughing hysterically. I'm not a mermaid. I'm a sea dragon. A real fancy looking sea dragon. Tell me more. I've never seen a sea dragon before. I'm all green and I have pink flippers going through the whole of my body. I'm very long and I'm all curled around. Do you have any hands? No arms, no hands. What shape is your head? The only thing I can compare it to is a bit like a Chinese dragon. Very fancy, very colourful. I have big teeth as well, very sharp. Fangs like a snake. What happens next? Where do you go to? I seem to be waiting for something. I'm seeing a ship approaching, a wooden ship or boat. It's a small boat, and I think they're throwing a net. They're trying to catch me. I'm being caught in the net. What's happening next? I'm struggling, trying to get out of it, but I have no hands, and I can't get out of it. I'm just jiggling about. Who is it that's doing this to you? I can't see them. I'm still in the water. Is there anyone else around you? No, I'm all by myself. So what's happening now? I'm on top of the deck in the boat. I'm still struggling. I'm gasping for air. Can you live out of the water? I can breathe air, but not for too long. Can you see the people doing this to you? No, I'm struggling so much on the deck. The net is wrapped around me. Oh, I've been bashed on the head by whoever caught me in the net. I'm looking at myself lay there. I think I'm dead now. It's such a shame, such a beautiful, beautiful snake. What did you learn from that short lifetime? I don't know. I just feel such utter sadness looking at myself. As you look back, at that sea dragon. I'd just like you to do healing on the body, especially on the lungs and on the head. I'd like you to connect your heart to the sea dragon's heart and send that beautiful healing energy and make sure everything is repaired there. I see it's glowing white light now. Call all fragments and pieces of your soul back to you, to this current lifetime, after the trauma that you had in that life. Let me know when you have a sense of that being complete. I'm seeing the sea dragon as a fire dragon now. It's burning from the tail all the way up to its head. Burning, and then it just disappears. What happens next? I'm alone, looking back at my body. I feel such utter sadness. Something tells me that I was one of a kind. I feel sadness. I want you to connect to that feeling of sadness. Have a sense in your body where you're keeping that sadness. It's in my stomach. I'd like you to choose a colour. What colour do you choose to heal that stomach? No colour, just energy. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead and remove that sadness from the stomach. Remove every last piece of sadness from the stomach. In the knowledge that everything has a cycle, and yes, you were the last of your kind. That process, that cycle is now complete. Bring in divine healing light just to fill the gap where you remove that sadness. May have a colour or simply be pure energy, whatever you choose. I look like I'm moving away now. What's happening? I'm floating up. Describe to me what's around you as you float up. What do you sense or see? I'm a little bit confused. I'm getting lots of random images. What are they? Upside down wellies, strawberries, leaves. Just pick one. The one you're most drawn to. I'll choose the upside down wellies. So we counted back. What's happening in that memory? I've put my wellies on the stick upside down to be dried out outside. Do you feel you're male or female in this lifetime? I feel male. And she laughed. She said, I'm a ginger dude with a beard, a farmer. I'm standing in my doorway looking at the field. I feel muddy and dirty, like I need a shower. I have overalls on, dark blue. My hands are very dirty, soil under my nails. So are you outside? Yes, I'm on the porch. Turn around and look at the house. It has a straw roof. It's made of brick, single story, almost like a barn, quite long on the side. What does the door look like? It's wooden, very old. There's a linen bag hanging on the side with hay in it. It's for the horses. As you look around, what else do you see? Horses, pigs in their pens, chickens running around. They're pecking my socks. Inside the house it looks dark. There's no electricity, just the daylight going in through the windows. What year is it there? 1455. If someone was to call you by name, if they were to shout your name, what would you hear? James. I'm looking at my wife. She's quite chubby, blonde hair tied back. She's got an apron on with a very big dress. Washing the dishes. She looks to be in her 40s. How old do you feel, James? In my 40s too. Just look into her eyes, the seat of the soul, and see if you recognise her soul energy from someone who you're having a current lifetime with. I cannot see her face. I see her dress, her arms, her head, but I cannot see her face. Just connect to her energy. I can't see her face. What's her name, James? Dorothy. Dorothy's turned round again. She's washing the dishes. Tell me more about this room that you're in. There's a wooden table and chairs, very basic furniture. I'd like you to sit down and eat a meal. What are you eating, James? Porridge. And as you sit down, look around the table. Who's with you? Nobody. So where's Dorothy? She's washing the dishes. I think she's upset with me. James, connect to her energy. Why is she upset with you? She says, I'm never home. I'm always in the fields looking after the animals. She says she feels lonely. Is there anything that you wish to say to her, James? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that we don't have children, Dorothy. I know she feels alone, and I feel like it's my fault. Do you feel like you could ask for Dorothy's forgiveness, James? Yes, I'd like to. Go ahead and ask for her forgiveness for working so hard and for you both not having children. She says she tries to forgive me, but she cries every night. She just can't help it. I want you to open your heart space, James, and connect to Dorothy's heart and send lots of love and healing and forgiveness. Every lifetime has a lesson and a purpose, and many lifetimes it's simply not our role and purpose to have children. I want you to send lots of loving healing to her. Big smile. I can see her face now. What does she look like, James? She has curly hair, curly fringe, big chubby rosy red cheeks and very blue eyes. Connect to her energy. Do you recognize her soul energy, James? Her eyes look sad and tired. I've never seen these eyes before. No, I don't recognize her. So we move forward to another significant day. It's night time. My house is burning down. It's burnt down to ashes. It's all gone. Oh, the smell of it. I can't find Dorothy. Everything I own is gone. Everything. I wasn't there. I came back and this happened. I feel terrified. I think Dorothy is inside, in the ashes. Is there anyone with you? No, it's night time. Whatever's happened has already happened, and I came back after the fact. The pens are all broken, the animals are gone, and the house is burned down to ashes. I don't know what to do. Are you able to go in and see if your wife is in there? No, it's completely gone, not even a single brick, nothing is standing. James, I want you to tune into your inner knowing. I want you to know if Dorothy perished in that fire or if she escaped. I'm shouting her. I have no answer. I feel that she perished. James, how do you feel? I feel like I don't want to live anymore. I feel like my world just ended. Just connect to those emotions, James. Where do you feel them in your physical body? My head, my heart, this feeling. In your lifetime, how does it affect you? How does it affect you in your current lifetime? I'm in disbelief. I'm in shock that somebody has done this on purpose. Do you feel able to heal that heaviness in the head and in the heart to release this disbelief? No, I have to find out who did this. And so as we go back, I want you to be at the place where whatever it is that's happening is happening now. What's happening? What do you see, James? The house is on fire, it's burning. Dorothy is screaming and she's trapped. These men, they set it on fire and no one is helping her. These men, they're from another village. A row over land. They're making sure the house is burnt down and no one gets out. James, look into their eyes, the seat of the soul, and see if you recognize them from somebody that you're having a current lifetime with. One of them I recognize, someone I know well. He looks different here though. James, go ahead and ask him why he did this. He says, this is your karma, you deserve this. James, what's his name? Yamish. I'd like to speak to Yamish. And at this point, we switched and I spoke to Yamish and asked him why he'd done this. Why did you do this to James? Why did you burn down his house and murder his wife? It is none of your business. It is absolutely my business. You have no idea the pain that you have caused. Do you think you are God? He deserves this. He murdered my family. He deserves this. How did he murder your family? He doesn't even know what he did. His actions had repercussions, and he deserved this. He needs to feel the pain of loss. This is not for you to teach him a lesson. You know what the pain is like of losing someone you love. 2 wrongs do not make it right. He needed to learn a lesson. Do you not feel that you should be asking for his forgiveness? Do you not feel ready to do that so that you can move on? No, he needs to learn the lesson. Yanish, but how can you move forward and break that chain of karma if you do not forgive and you do not ask for forgiveness? Do you feel that you can ask James for forgiveness for what you've done to break this karmic cycle? Don't want to. But you will keep coming round again and again and again, learning the same lesson. How many lives do you want to spend in this karmic cycle? 2, 20, 2,000? Let it be. Then so it is. So then we went back to James and we spoke to James. I'm sure you heard that conversation, James, and I know how sad you are. He said that he killed your family. What happened there? I didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't do it on purpose. We were in court fighting over the land, and I used trickery to win my case. James, Yanish tells me he's not ready to move forward. But this may affect many other lifetimes if forgiveness is not given and received. Do you feel ready to forgive him for what he has done to you? Yes. And at this point, we went backwards and forwards, speaking between the two gentlemen to get them to a point of wanting to forgive each other. And that's most important, both in this lifetime and in past lifetimes, to be able to learn that lesson and to move forward So that was very, very important. And then once that forgiveness had been done, James was able to open his heart and connect his heart energy to Yanish, sent much love and forgiveness in the knowledge that that cycle had now ended and that the lesson had been learned there. And my client saw them both floating away. We move forward in the last day of that lifetime of James. Is it daytime or nighttime? It's nighttime and I'm outside looking at a statue. What's the statue of? It's an angel. The light is illuminating it. I see fires burning too, and I think how beautiful it is. The angel is very large, with arms stretched across, with a glow around the head. Do you feel much older now, James? Yes. What's happening on your last day? Do you feel ill or is something happening? I just feel ready to pass on. I don't feel it. This just feels like it's time. I don't feel ill. It's just time. What happens is you take your last breath. There are crowds of people around me trying to help me. Where are you? I'm on the ground. And what's happening? I think my heart gave up. Is there anyone in the crowd specifically that you're drawn to that's helping you? No, they're just checking that I'm no longer alive. And as you look over that lifetime, what did you learn, James? Work is not everything. Dorothy was so sad. She was lonely. I should have spent more time with her. As you take your last breath, what's happening around you? I see the whole town, the lights, statue, an angel below me, and I'm moving away. I see the dark sky and the stars above me. I'm on my own. Where are you going? I'm going upwards. I can see ripples in front of me, like water dripping ripples in the dark sky. It's so clear. I'm seeing one of the stars changing into a dolphin, and it starts swimming across the sky. Is there anything that catches your attention, that you feel drawn to? No, I'm just enjoying it. Where do you go next? I'm seeing a campfire and somebody crouching in front of it. I see a leg and a campfire. Just look down to where your feet might be. What do you see? I do. I have rabbit shoes on. What colour are they? It's me thinking that they were going to be, like pink or blue or yellow. They are real rabbit's heads. Yeah, I'm a vegan. Made of rabbit skin with the head still on. Very warm, very fluffy. Do you feel male or female? Male, a chunky male, quite stodgy and stocky. Are you wearing any clothes? I think I'm native Indian. I'm wearing a kind of tunic outfit. It's stitched by hand. I see. And as you look at your hands, do you have any ornaments on your hands or on your arm? Yes, I have ornaments on my hands. They're made of bird feathers. They stick out between my fingers. What's the purpose of those? They're ceremonial. They're on the inside of my palm, not on the outside. They're not practical. Are you doing this ceremony now? I'm the dancer. I'm dancing for everyone else. Do you have anything on your head? Yes, a feather crown. They're so long I can barely reach them. Do you feel quite important? I'm just here to dance. So what's happening now? As I move from behind that person that was at the campfire, the big fire is being prepared. Everyone's sitting down so that I can dance for them. Are there many? Yes, lots of men and women. I feel so nervous. Why do you feel nervous? I've never done this before. It's my first time. Everyone is looking at me. Go ahead and do whatever it is that you need to do. The drums are playing. They've started to sing and I'm ready. What are you doing? I'm dancing to the drums and I'm singing. How do you feel? I'm very nervous, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So what's the purpose of this? I don't understand. I feel really young. I'm just supposed to dance. How old do you feel? 15. Ah, young man. Yes, I'm enjoying my dancing. As you look around, is there someone you feel drawn towards? Yes, the chief. Describe him to me. He has a very wise face, very dark skin, eyes that see wisdom. Look into his eyes, the seat of the soul. Look deep into his eyes and see if you recognize that energy from somebody that you're having a current lifetime with. His eyes look like a grandfather's eyes. I never met my grandfather, but his eyes remind me of that grandfather energy. So what else is happening at this ceremony? What is it for? They're smoking pipes and now they're talking. Why I dance, whilst I dance. I'm focusing on my dancing, making sure it's just right. What happens once the dance is finished? I leave. I'm not old enough to participate in the talking. Is there anything else that you feel drawn to here? No. So we move forward. And at this point, as we move forward, my client had a big, massive grin on her face, massive smile. Is it daytime or nighttime? It's nighttime. Do you feel older? Not that much. What are you doing? I'm laying here with my girlfriend. What does your girlfriend look like? I don't know. I'm not looking at her. And then she laughed. We're all done. We're done. Oh, I see. I sort of blushed a little bit. We all lay here and we're just looking at the stars. How do you feel? I'm very, very happy. We are starting to hug and it feels really nice. I want you to really connect with her energy and look into her eyes. Do you recognize her energy from someone that you're having a current lifetime with now? Then she started to laugh. Yes, that's awkward, that's weird. So she knew them. And let's move forward to another significant day in the lifetime where there is important information. What's happening around you? I see men, white men on horses, like cavalier, like they're heading for war. They're carrying flags. We just stand at the side of the road looking at them. I feel sad, like everything has changed. They're crossing through our land so that they can fight the other white men. This is very significant. We decide we need to move from our lands. It is no longer safe here. We need to pack up and go. I'm with my wife and with my 2 children. What is your wife called? Zaina. And what are you called? What's your name? Jalu. Your 2 children, Jalu, what sex are they? They're girls. They're age 4 and 6. Look into their eyes, Julu. Do you recognize their soul energy from somebody that you're having a current lifetime with? I recognize one of them. Yes, yes. So what happens next? We're traveling with everyone else, the horses, everything. We have to go somewhere where it's safe, where we can raise our family. And then we move forward to the last day in that lifetime. I think I'm already dead, so we have to just go back a little way to find out what happened. I'm fighting with one of the soldiers. I'm protecting my family. I don't have the swords they have. I only have my small knife. I'm very quick, but they have swords, they have guns. They're quicker than me. I'm on the edge, and I've died. I've been pushed, rolled down into the dried riverbed. I've been stabbed in the heart and rolled down the riverbed. I'm observing other bodies just being rolled back down to the riverbed. What are your last thoughts, Julu? Where's my family? Who is looking after them? Just as you come out of your body, look around. Do you see anything? Anybody? Yes, yes, I see my wife and my children are being taken away. They are sparing the women and children. Very good. So you see that they are being spared. Julu, just as you come out of your physical body, I'd like you to send healing energy to your heart to heal that wound. Just let me know when that healing, when you feel that it's complete. And it's taking, she said it was taking quite a long time to do the healing, as it was a very deep emotional wound. Okay, so now we're calling all fragments and pieces of your soul back now. And we were about to ask some questions of the higher self. And as I asked permission, I was told that no, it was not possible until the pyramid was removed. And so I asked, what pyramid? Now, before anybody ever comes to see me in my healing room, I place a pyramid of white light above the house, above the healing room, one above me. And when my client's in hypnosis, I place one over my client also. And what this lady didn't tell me was that when she first came into the healing room, there was not a child, but a child-like being with very yellow skin to the side of her that was very amused by me and was intrigued at the skills that I have and what we're able to do in hypnosis. And so when we started that hypnosis session, by me placing a pyramid of white light over my client, had blocked this beautiful being out in order to protect my client fully. So when I asked if it was possible to ask questions, initially the answer was no, not until the pyramid is removed. So in the knowledge that I'd already got further pyramids that were protecting us, I lifted the pyramid off and asked for permission. And at first I'd asked a question, and this little person, this being, had said, don't tell her. And I said, well, that's a little bit naughty, isn't it? Come and sit next to me. So this being then came and sat at the side of me, and then we progressed to ask questions together. More than happy to have any high frequency energy in my healing room for any part of the galaxy, from any part. So we proceeded with the questions after that. What is her link to Egypt? She feels very connected to Egypt energy, particularly Thoth's energy, which is why she keeps seeing his resting place, but she's never lived there. Is it possible to speak to Thoth today, please? Yes. May I speak to Thoth, please? You are speaking to him. Thoth, I know that I have some important questions that my client wishes you to ask you today. Are you happy to answer those questions for us? Yes. Where is the secret entrance to the halls of Amenti? Beneath the Sphinx. You have to synchronize with the frequency to access it. And how do we do that? You have to find it for yourself when the time is right. Thoth, how many emerald tablets are there? There are 13. Where are they? They are sunk at the bottom of the deep ocean. Are all of them there? Yes. And then my client said his energy receded and she felt that he'd gone. But what he'd actually done was started to show her an image of the Sphinx. It was the Sphinx head, and she said she could see it as clear as day. I asked her to describe it to me. And then she was taken straight to the entrance. The entrance is made of bricks. There is no door. It's a wide opening. There's a light coming in from it. As I'm walking around in there, I can see the gold statues. What or who are these statues? The first is a jackal holding a spear. One is a bull's head, the body of a man, and another is shorter with the head of a wild boar and a statue of a man. What else is in there? Tell me more. I see the sarcophagus. I see the mummy inside. And at this point, because I'm so used to working with Isis, I know her energy very well, and I felt Isis energy come in and stand directly to my left. Beautiful energy, beautiful energy. I can't see her face. Sorry, I said, whose body is it? I can't see her face, but it's a woman. She has a mask, a beautiful mask with a golden beak, a head of a bird with a golden beak, beautiful dark blue cloth hanging down the sides, and her hair down to her shoulders. If you were to call her by name, what would you call her? Isis. And at this point, that beautiful energy just shifted over to where my client was. Thank you. She's saying to me, you are the love, follow truths. Your heart will be your guide. Your heart will be your guide. Thank you. Is Isis happy to answer some questions for us today, please? She said yes. Is the current translation of the Emerald Tablets a good translation to follow? There are many people who have tried to translate it, that the true word has gone missing. How do we find the true word? You can only find it through meditation. Isis, what is the power of the talon? What is it? Now, I have to admit at this point, I haven't got a clue what the talon is, and I've read the Emerald Tablets, but I've never, that little bit has eluded me completely, so this was really interesting. And at this point, Isis was showing my client what she was doing, and she said that she has a bowl floating in the air in front of her, and the bowl has rings round her, and as one's going, I can't do it clockwise, the other one's going anti-clockwise, and she says that this is what the talon does. It moves things, it levitates things, but on a much grander scale, it does far more than that, far more than that. Can we humans learn to do this talon? And then at this point, Isis says, or she telepathically says to my client, she says, we can try, yes. She says, you don't make it, you use it. It is impossible to do that. It is not impossible to do this. It is simply forgotten knowledge. Is it a type of energy that helps to move things, that moves things around? You use the energy to do things and to move things, to levitate, but it can also change things chemically, the structure, the consistency. So it's some sort of alchemy. Yes, but this is energy alchemy. Isis, what is the purpose of the North-South meditation? And any of you that have read the Emerald Tablets will know that in there, Thoth talks about meditating for a certain amount of time facing north and a certain amount of time facing south. And she laughs at this point. She just laughs and says, that is Thoth's own thing. That's Thoth's own thing. Can you tell us how it helps our bodies? It rebalances our energies. This can also be done through water. And at this point, Isis, again, was showing my client what she was doing with the water. She had a ritual. So she had a jar of water with rope around it, and the rope sealed, that was a seal around the jar. And then she held the water up above her head and aligned it with the stars and the moon. This was most important. And that created a vortex of energy. in there then. And when I asked if there was any specific words that should be said or did it need doing at a specific time, the message was it should be done on a half moon. And then I asked Isis, can we use the word Zin Anu? Again, something else that's in the emerald tablets. She says, that's not how you say it. You say it Zenchu. If we say Zenchu, these are the words used to program the water. So that was interesting. So the ritual that Isis gave us to program the water, they were the words to activate it, as well as being aligned with the stars and being undertaken on a half moon. Is that the only thing that we would use the word Zenchu for, or can we use it for anything else? She says Thoth used it for all sorts, but she just uses it for the water. What did Thoth use it for? And she laughed. She says, ask him. She's going back to the sarcophagus now, and the Sphinx started to move away. So that was a great session. Absolutely loved that. Very intrigued by the little yellow, small yellow galactic person that came in to sit on a session. I feel like I've got students. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Have an incredible Halloween if you choose to do anything. I need to crack on and do my pumpkins. I haven't got those out yet. I'm still hoping that we will have some children that are having fun, perhaps dressing up. And so we'll leave some sweets outside for them if indeed they choose to come up and do that. But have a great weekend. Have an even better week. Sending you a massive tsunami of love your way. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.